If there was anyone who knew how to survive, it was Hershel Woody Williams. Since birth, he defeated the odds stacked against him. He was born the youngest of 11 children in Quiet Dale, West Virginia, on October 2nd, 1923.
I weighed 3.5 pounds, and they really did not think I was going to make it. But so small and apparently not in the best of health.
And that is where his story of surviving against the odds begins. Woody pulled through. He would grow up during the food epidemic and the Great Depression.
Of course, we lived through the Depression years.
That's right.
And there was just very little money to be had. And if you didn't raise it or grow it, you just practically had to do without it.
During childhood, several of his siblings died during the flu pandemic, as well as his father at the age of 11. And then war struck. Woody was in Montana as a civilian Conversation Corps enrollee.
I was on December the 7th, 1941, when Pearl Harbor was bombed. None of us had ever heard of Pearl Harbor. Certainly never heard of Hawaii, and didn't know anything about what was going on in the world in the way of war, because we had no radios, no newspapers, so we had no way of getting that information.
And then the news came.
They called us out on the morning of the 8th and told us that America was going to war.
Woody would immediately try and enlist, but he was not old enough, and his mother would not give him permission, so he waited a year. And then in 1942, standing 5'6", Woody stood in front of an enlister, ready to serve his country proudly as a Marine.
He just looked at me and said, "I'm sorry, I can't take you." And quite naturally I said, "Why?" And he said, "You're too short."
After a year of war, many Americans died, and then the height restrictions changed. In 1943, Woody would now be able to serve his country. He successfully enlisted in the Marine Corps in Charleston, West Virginia, on May 26th.
All I knew is that somebody was trying to take our country away and to take our freedom from us. And I wanted to be a part of protecting America. And it wasn't until I got in the Marine Corps that I learned we're not going to fight a war in America. We're going someplace else to do this. And of course, that was specific for all the Marines.
Woody was in Company C, 1st Battalion, 21st Marine Regiment, when he and other Marines advanced on Iwo Jima on February 21st, 1945.
When we hit Iwo, we were supposed to go in on the second day. The first day, they lost so many Marines because they were pinned to the beach, couldn't advance, and the enemy had all the advantage.
Once on the beach, they were pinned down from gunfire coming from concrete pillboxes.
You could hit the thing with a weapon, bazooka or machine guns or whatever, and it would not penetrate the wall because it was so thick. So they had all the advantage of protection, and we had zilch. Yeah.
Woody's Medal of Honor moment was on the horizon, unbeknownst to him at the time. The company commander had a big ask of Woody.
He asked me if I thought I could do something with the flamethrower against these pillboxes. I have no idea my response. Somebody else said that. My response was, "I'll try."
At this point, Woody was the only flamethrower who had survived gunfire. Over the course of 4 hours, Woody eliminated the enemy within 7 pillboxes. He returned 5 times to the company area to refuel his weapon and move back to the remaining pillboxes. But to this day, he is still bothered because he can't remember how he did it.
There's so much of that day, though, and I have no explanation, and I've talked to psychologists, and I can't find a good answer. Why I can't remember some of the very details of that day, I have no idea.
After spending 34 of the 36 days on the island, Woody was there for this historic moment.
I was up near the first airfield when the flag was raised. I did not see it, but there were some Marines around me that began yelling something about a flag. Some of them were shooting their rifles into the air like they were celebrating something. And I had my back to Mount Suribachi, so I had no idea what was going on until I turned around and looked. And it just so happened that the flag had just gotten up when I turned around and looked. And the wind was very brisk, and the flag was standing straight out. I'll never forget that scene.
His actions from that day put him in a very, very small group of 3,400 soldiers out of 42 million who were awarded the Medal of Honor.
You've never seen a more scared country boy in your life than I was that day. Really, I was just doing the job I was trained by other Marines to do. Mm-hmm. And I didn't think I was doing anything out of the ordinary. It's my job. It's what I'm supposed to do.
His life changed after that day, not only for receiving the Medal of Honor, but for what he did after. He started the Woody Williams Foundation, which honors, recognizes, and serves Gold Star families and the legacy of their loved ones who paid the ultimate sacrifice.
But we had never done anything in the way of recognizing Gold Star dads, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandmas and grandpas. We had never done anything to recognize them or to honor them for their sacrifice.
The impact of his work is felt nationwide, with Gold Star family monuments in all 50 states and 82 more monuments in progress.
Yeah. Well,